Spiritual teachers coaching the world. This vision was first given to me years ago, and I didn't quite know what to do with it, but I set out to create it, and here it is coming back around, and now I know exactly what to do with it. Celebrate with me because we are opening the doors to Spiritual Coach School, and we have our kickoff call tomorrow evening. It is not too late to get in and join us as a founding member and be right in here. I want to take you back. 2007. I was working as a therapist. Hi, it's great to see you. Thank you for being here. 2006, we had made a big move. I had been working as a therapist for some years. I had been called into seminary. I was trying to find where I fit. I knew I was a helper and a healer. In the therapy world, I started getting exposed to all these things: energy healing, energy medicine, modalities, processes, things in the intuitive and healing arts that I couldn't do under my license and that I couldn't do in the environments where I was working. After that, I'm just adjusting myself here a little bit for the camera angle. After that, I was called to seminary because I believe every mental health crisis, every crisis we have, I worked in crisis and trauma for years, has some element of a spiritual crisis and some seed for spiritual growth and development. And we actually came here with those things waiting for us. This is going to feed into my spiritual teachers coaching the world. Hang out here with me on this. I was led to open my own healing center, which I did, again, not totally knowing what I was doing. And then I went the route of what they were teaching me. Well, you charge for 30 minutes, you charge for an hour, you can charge for 90 minutes. And I started doing it and people started coming to me. I had a local healing center. People came in and got on my table. Well, as I was doing the healing work, my psychic and mediumship gifts started really increasing as well. So I was just growing into my gifts, but I was out there doing it and I was serving. And all these women that had this inside of them that were called to be part of the change in the world and a change in themselves. And they had a calling and they had gifts of healing and intuition and just a spark inside of them. They showed up at my healing center and we explored a lot of things. And the community loved it and these women loved it. I always laugh because even their husbands would be like, "When are you going to Hope House next? Do you have anything at Hope House?" Because these women were just blooming and their husbands were loving. I mean, it was opening up their femininity. It was opening up their sexuality. They were happier. They were more vibrant, everything. What wasn't working is I wasn't making good business decisions and I had to close the door 18 months later because I didn't make good business decisions and I created a very expensive hobby, which then created financial disaster for my own family. But I wasn't willing to give up. I didn't go get a job. I stayed with it and Spirit provided. What Spirit provided were opportunities for me to step into. People are asking, desiring. And then when the opportunities show up, they don't look like they're expecting and they don't step in and they don't follow the breadcrumbs. When those opportunities and those breadcrumbs first show up, y'all, I'm telling you, they are illogical. They are inconvenient. They are uncomfortable. Sometimes, a lot of the time, they feel expensive. And yet those are the things that lead you to the gold. And thankfully, I learned that. I kept building my business, but I knew there had to be a better way because I saw all these very gifted healers and intuitives just struggling financially. They sometimes would end up homeless. They couldn't afford their homes. They weren't in good relationships. They were estranged from their children. They had money issues. They had health issues. I can tell you all the things that create this very old paradigm for healers, and that it is not necessary. And I have had a platform and a soapbox for years now. If you are in my community, I will talk about this a lot because I got stuck in it and then I got myself out of it. And I said, never, I'm not living like that. I believe that if I am doing Spirit's work, Spirit wants me to have the life and the spiritual journey of my dreams, not live like a suffering pauper. That was a construct by humans to control other humans and to render them powerless, because you as a healer have so much power inside of you. And this is keeping you small, and it's keeping you stuck and paralyzed and frozen. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you for the hearts and the likes. I'm so passionate talking about all of this. I kept going there. I got my business back up again, a local healing center, and then I built a full-time local healing business as a practitioner. And guess what I found out? I was still struggling. It is not a profitable model, and it is not a sustainable model. And I knew I had to find what was, and I asked Spirit, and Spirit led me to it. Spirit led me into the coaching world. And I started really hanging out in the coaching world and making it big in the coaching world. And then I saw, Spirit said, you're not meant to live there. You were just supposed to hang out there and learn, but you're supposed to come back to the healing and intuitive world. Don't lose your gifts. So many healers and intuitives get over in that coaching world, and then they have to hide their gifts in the background. And I was doing that unconsciously. I didn't mean to. So my greatest superpowers were getting watered down and watered down. And I wasn't loving my life, and I wasn't loving my work until I saw I am meant to come back into the healing and intuitive world and propose a different way. For instance, they were telling me over in the healing and intuitive world, you sell yourself at that time $1 a minute. Some people are still doing it. They may be charging now $100 an hour, $75 an hour. And then they said, oh no, you bundle and you package. So instead of one session, you sell 5. And when people buy 5, they buy them because they get to pay so much less. Wait a minute. And I was doing it. And then I said, well, great. Now I'm working a lot more for less money. How y'all surviving? That is not computing. It's not working, and it didn't. And over in the coaching world, they know how to build coaching containers. What I brought back was their version, and then I added mine, working in the quantum field, working with energy medicine, working with healing, working with the chakra system, working with power, working with intuition, working with spiritual gifts. And I call my container that I teach you how to build the magic container, because it's not just me and you, a coach and a client. It's me and you and Spirit. And what happens in the magic container is magic. So here I was going along, and they had that whole talk about Mayan calendar, end of the world, and I was really into it. I did not think I was not going to wake up on December 22nd, 2012, but I knew something big was happening and a shift was happening. And Spirit started showing me a logo and started talking to me a lot about spiritual teachers coaching the world. See all these people over here doing coaching? What if your coach was a psychic, medium, healer, spiritual teacher, spiritual leader, or had any kind of healing gifts and abilities? Because some of my clients are coming out of the nursing world. I end up even with a lot of lawyers. I've had an organic farmer. I've had a couple of real estate. I have had a broker, and I have had an insurance saleswoman. But there's something inside of them. They have philosophies they live by. They've overcome challenges, and they're living according to spiritual law, universal law. They've worked on their own healing and transformation. They've studied with the greats. They have those things in common. So yes, I serve lots of psychics, medium, and healers. No, you do not have to be a psychic, medium, or energy healer. There are a lot of ways you can be a healer. I was a healer when I took a traditional route. And I was a therapist, and I was a counselor, and I took a traditional route when I was serving in the church as a teacher and a leader, and I was in the pulpit preaching. And when I went to seminary to be an interfaith minister, and then they trained me to be a hospital chaplain, in all those ways, until I came to the place where, what am I made to do? So Spirit gave me this, and I was like, yes, spiritual teachers coaching the world. Like, I got it, and it was so big, and I felt I'm meant to lead this. I made the logo, I got the website, I started trying to get it out there, but I wasn't prepared. And the whole thing I was saying back then was, when you wake up on December 22nd, and the world is still here, and you are still here, what are you going to do then? I felt it. So now it's the same. Look at what we've come through the past few years. When you wake up, what are you going to do now? You are here. You're still here. You're here for a reason. We're all still here. The world is still here. And if you are called to be a spiritual coach, a spiritual teacher, a spiritual healer, a spiritual leader, a spiritual messenger, some people are being drawn to work with me with this spiritual coaching that don't even fully know if they're ready. How will they know? What is it? I've been getting great questions from you all. Keep them coming. You can send me a private message. You can comment below. If you go to bethecontribution.com, there's a button. If you want to talk to me by email, messenger, or get on a phone call, there's also a comprehensive layout of things for you right there on bethecontribution.com. So I kept going, and I see now in hindsight, it was just planting the seed. They wanted me to swerve over here because I was kind of going over here, and I've held it all this time. So first I had to become it. So I spent the past decade, that was now December 2012. I spent the past decade being that spiritual coach, having a profitable and sustainable business. I have not had a job since 2006, building and growing my business consistently to multiple six figures, growing and evolving myself in the process of my business growing every single year. And then I started coaching others and showing them my spiritual coaching model that works. And then I took in 2018, a dozen year-long clients, so I could work with them for a year and find out where they stopped, where they fell out, what kept them going, what made them successful. And I turned it into a case study, and it was part of my doctoral dissertation. I have a doctorate in transformational spiritual coaching. That is how passionate about it I am. Then last year, I called in 13 people to go through a pilot program that was both building and growing the magic container and becoming a spiritual coach if you went through them together. And I took them all the way through, and I certified 10 of them. And I interviewed them, and I have been releasing those interviews. I have 2 up. I'm going to release them every day. So go on my page or use hashtag 12 days of spiritual coaching so you can see. I can talk to you all day long about spiritual coaching, and I will, but I interviewed them, and then you can look them up on Facebook and you can see how different they are and what they have in common, and how they are being spiritual teachers coaching the world, every one of them, with this spiritual coaching model. I took them through as a pilot, and that's why now I am ready for you. Spiritual Coach School, we are open. BeTheContribution.com. We kick off tomorrow night with our first live call. This is a great hybrid because you get access to me, you get access to a community that are friends, collaborators, potential clients, mentors, teachers, future endeavors, people you will stay in contact with. That's part of what I build into my community and into my world. I am a spiritual community connector and builder, and people who come into my groups and my communities, they make accountability groups and support, and they travel together and they spend time together far beyond when they're sitting in my classroom and in my programs. And it's amazing to see. Some of them travel every year. I do a Spirit Workers retreat in Dallas. And this year, some of them came and they all got to meet each other in person and meet me in person. I already felt like I knew them, but they met me in person for the first time. I am building a spiritual community of spirit workers, a spirit workers collective, having live events as that opens up, having the retreat, meanwhile, letting you do it online as much as you want, and the other pieces are optional. It's powerful. So I've opened Spiritual Coach School for you. I do private coaching. I take a handful of people at a time. If you're interested in that, I have a few spaces open. Please reach out to me. You can also, I have some spaces right now open where you can go through Spiritual Coach School and private coach with me for 6 months and do them both together. I have other people coming into Spiritual Coach School who already say they want to work with me privately on the other end of that. I have VIP days, lots of ways I can support you. Spiritual Coach School right now is a great way. It does include right now for founding members a 90-minute deep dive private coaching session with me, and you will get that. And then it also includes for founding members later on here along the way a weekend online virtual retreat. So lots of ways for you to be involved, and you will get all of this. It's something you can step into right now. BeTheContribution.com. I have been carrying that vision. Spirit, I'm committed. Show me what to do with it. And Spirit grew me as a spiritual coach. Then the opportunity came in to get my doctorate in it. I've written 2 books. I'm working on my 3rd book, which is specifically going to be about this, being a spiritual coach, being a spirit worker. And I invite you now. I want to hear from you. I want to talk with you. I want to support and guide you in 2022. Hi, it's great to see you. Come on in. Thank you for the love and the hearts. Thank you so much. Keep watching using the hashtag 12 days of spiritual coaching, and keep watching these interviews of these spiritual coaches I'm putting out there every day. And I've been live every day. This is day 9. I've been talking today about this vision Spirit gave me right there in the winter solstice of when people thought the world is going to end, however we thought that might happen. I know great shifts happen, and it happened inside me, and I was given that gift. Spiritual teachers coaching the world. Then I was taken into the coaching world. Then I was brought back into the healing and intuitive arts world, which is my home, spiritual community. And I believe spiritual coaches bring something to the table that no other coaches do. And you bring all your gifts to the table. And in my community, in my school, and in my world, we work on all three key aspects, where a lot of places people are getting one, maybe two, and they're having to go to different places for this. I know I have been mentoring, practicing and studying my psychic gifts, my healing gifts. I have so many modalities because I love energy healing. I have my own modality as well that I work with my clients. We work in the Akashic Records. We work with Ho'oponopono. We work with multidimensional healing, all of it. And at the same time, I have been out there in year-long mediumship mentors. Then I'd have business coaches. Then I'd have healers and spiritual advisors and mindset mentors. We do all three. Practice and master your craft. I have a practice community for you to have access to so that you can practice and master your craft while you're also out here working. This is another one of the biggest mistakes people make. I don't feel ready yet. I got to give it all away for free in the public eye, and I'm going to practice. I still practice. I pay to practice over here at my level while I'm also over here being in the marketplace and being in business and serving people and selling. Practice and master your craft. Becoming the person who can be this, do this, and have this. And that includes the personal and spiritual growth and development work. And building and growing your spiritual business. All three of those are key. Imagine bringing all your gifts to the table, getting out of this dollars for minutes model. Because even if you build that to full time, a lot of the mediums, especially when they come to me, who've even built very successful businesses, they realize I can only do so many readings. Mediumship readings take a toll on you physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You can only do so many of them a day, a week, and a month. And they come to me and they say, how else can I have my business and how do I take care of myself? Because one thing I'm always going to teach you is how to take care of yourself while you are taking care of everyone else. It is non-negotiable for me and in my world. And I teach you that. Yes, amen. I didn't always. I was the broke healer syndrome, which is why I can talk about it and get you all out of it. There is a better way. And this is it. This is, I know. I have taken now a decade of my work, which has never been all in one place at one time, that you could either go into one program or one program. I've piloted all of them. Hi, thank you. It's good to see you. I've piloted all of them. And then some of the other programs I created for my private clients. But that's a small number of people every year that you can count on a couple of hands that I serve at a time. Now it's available. I have created the school, Spiritual Coach School, in a way that will work to serve so many more people because I have been maxed out. Last year, I hit more when I said I can't take any more, and then I took some more. And I piloted this program at this time and took people through it to make sure I could deliver it at the same high level of access and ability with you all and for you all. So here it is. Celebrate with me. Spiritual Coach School open for you. BeTheContribution.com. Go on the website, BeTheContribution.com. Click on that button if you want and need to talk to me. I've been talking to a lot of you all. I love your questions. Keep them coming. Step in, because we're gathering as a Spirit Workers Collective for the first time tomorrow night for our kickoff call. I want you to be there with us. Thank you so much. We still have more days. 12 days of spiritual coaching. This is day 9. I'll still be here for 3 more days after this. Use the hashtag up in the Facebook search bar at the top left. Hashtag 12 days of spiritual coaching. And you'll find what I've done for you every day. Be watching for those interviews so you can see who some of these spiritual coaches are instead of just hearing me talk about it. If this is you, I am your coach. I am your mentor, your teacher, your healer, your trusted advisor. I serve all of those roles. That's why I call myself the premier coach for spirit workers. And I'm also the founder and creator of Spiritual Coach School. Go and read all about it. BeTheContribution.com and then join us. I am so excited to have you and to work with you. Thank you so much. Reach out to me and I will be back for more. Bye.